APC hits P2B over comment on Tinubu's government. The All Progressive Congress APC has asserted that former governor of Anambra State, P2B, has assumed the role of embittered loser and spoiler over his recent comments on Nigeria's economy since the ruling party took power in 2015. P2B has raised concern over the lingering economic crisis in Nigeria, recalling that Nigeria had the biggest economy in Africa as of 2014. Taking to his official account on X on Monday, P2B said the country's economy soon began to drop in 2015. In his message, Obi drew attention to the stark difference between Nigeria's economic achievement during its early post-democracy years and its current economic conditions. However, the APC, in a statement on Tuesday by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, said Obi's comment on the country's economic situation is an admixture of half-truths, blatant distortions, and misinformation calculated to mobilize outrage against Tinubu's government. Felix faulted P2B for only acknowledging the challenges in the country while ignoring the thoughtful policy intervention President Tinubu had taken to salvage the economic situation. According to the All Progressive Congress chieftain, contrary to P2B's claim, the country had in the last 1 year attracted $20 billion into the economy, aside from recording an all-time high 6.52 trillion Naira trade surplus in the first quarter of 2024, marking a positive shift from a long history of trade deficit. The statement read, and I quote, Mr. B's latest statement on the country's economic situation is an admixture of half-truths, blatant distortions, and misinformation calculated to mobilize outrage against the All Progressive Congress government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He swapped conclusion that Nigeria's economic crisis was caused by 9 years of APC-led administration is highly revisionist, dishonest, distorted, and deliberately misleading assessment of a country's economic trajectory in the last decade. But in his selfish political desperation, Obi will never acknowledge the complexity of the causation of economic challenges, but rather attempt to scapegoat the APC administration for all of the country's economic ills, while turning a blind eye to the bold and thoughtful policy interventions of President Tinubu's administration. Quite contrary to Obi's jaundiced and gloomy analysis, in the last 1 year alone, the country has attracted over $20 billion into the economy, aside recording an all-time high 6.52 trillion Naira trade surplus in the first quarter of 2024, marking the positive shift from a long history of trade deficits. Despite clearing the backlog of the foreign exchange debt, owned foreign airlines and other economic actors by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the nation's foreign reserve has continued to expand, hitting upwards of $34 billion, the highest in recent times. Capital inflow into the country increased by 66.27% this year alone. Notable financial expert and the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics (NBS) report that for the first time in economic history, the all-share index (ASI) of the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NCE) crossed the 100,000 benchmark this year, marking the Nigerian Stock Exchange currently about the most profitable capital market in the world, with a return on investment (ROI) as high as 22.90%. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) projects that the nation's economy will have a 3.1% gross domestic product (GDP) growth in 2024, one of the highest projections for any African country. Initiatives such as the credit corps, student loan, the newly approved minimum wage, the construction of the 700-kilometer Lagos to Calabar coastal highway, and many more are tailor-made by the President Tinubu to combat poverty and expand economic opportunities for Nigerians. Mr. Obi is a loquacious and disruptive backseat driver who has assigned himself to an ignoble role of an embittered loser and spoiler. Economic challenges and hardship are a stark reality of most countries of the world today, both developed and developing. It is an existential condition that must be tackled and transformed. This is an arduous task that requires collective patriotic collaboration. Mr. B must know that inflaming passion and mobilizing outrage through force and manipulative narrative are not legitimate tools of opposition politics. Expecting President Tinubu to accomplish total transformation of Nigeria in 1 year, a feat he failed miserably to accomplish in 8 years as governor of Anambra State, is the height of disgraceful hypocrisy. Cho, now you do. You just run your maths. Prove it that he is wrong. You are saying he did not come outside and state the wins. Which wins? Are we experiencing the wins? Nigerians, are you people feeling any wins? Is fuel not, didn't they increase fuel recently? Should they increase fuel recently? What's in this people they talk? If you like, make the GDP decline, but make it reach $100 million. Does it look like we care? It affects you? How far? You know they buy, not be see 3,000 plus or 4,000 and be one paint of Gary. I be you don't reduce. What's in the yarn? Huh? How much is the paint of beans? No, tell me how much. Or how much is a bag of rice? You don't reduce. So what are you saying? How much you enter transport? How much you see the enter? See, I beg, make everybody sit down. Okay, you would make a book of this writing just to defend Tinubu. Of course, now Femi Adesina no writes book based on Buhari in there. See, you defend Buhari. Is the $20 billion more than 100 billions of debt depleted from the foreign saves and loans in billions taken in 9 years of APC? What are all these people saying all this? My dear, no. Mr. Felix Moka, it is a right to defend your party, but please do so with some intelligence and not as a fool. You said Peter B's statements are a mixture of half-truths and falsehood because he lost election in 2023. Please, can you give Nigerians the correct statistic of the period in question so Nigerians can verify on their own without you forcing Nigerians to believe your assertion without statistics? Propaganda has a very short lifespan, but the truth lasts forever. We know how the Agulu package fraud stashed Anambra State wealth to an offshore bank account with his daughter's name and started claiming Saint to be. Did he return to Anambra State? Did he turn Anambra State to Dubai or Doha within 8 years of his rule or conducted an election in local government? We know him as a certified liar of this century. He is one of the major importers of goods in Nigeria and will be claiming from consumption to production. Some of his statistics are lies. He loves whining too much with data. Now, this one what you say. Your government allow people they produce. How much electricity tariff now to produce anything inside this country? Do you want to know how businesses are almost shutting down? Please, I beg. If you're going to defend this government, defend them just like this person talk with intelligence and don't sound like a fool. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. So thank you for sending in to listen. Until I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest.